Hello everyone, it's Jez here from nigezza.blogspot.com and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm here with another project for you. You may have seen my snowman from a few weeks ago, and today I'm going to do a Santa, and it's taken me a while because I had to wait for a 12 by 12 cherry cobbler because you need a 12 by 12 sheet to do the bottom box. I was going to resize it to do for A4, but I managed to get my order in from a 12 by 12 cherry cobbler, which is in the current seasonal catalogue, so I can make one the same size, so I'm delighted. So stay tuned, and this is what I did. So the sizes are all exactly the same as they are for the snowman, and I'll put a link down below for the original snowman project, because everything's kind of made in the same way, apart from I'm not doing any heat embossing on this one. So the bottom box, the largest box, for the base of the box it's 10 inches by 10 inches, and for the lid of the box it's 6 9/16 by 6 9/16. But don't worry about any measurements because they will be over on my blog, nigezza.blogspot.com. For the middle box is Whisper White, and that is 8 by 8, and then the lid of the box is 5 1/16 by 5 1/16, and the top of the box is in Cherry Cobbler, and that is 6 by 6, and the lid is 3 9/16 by 3 9/16, and then the little pom-pom on the top, well, it's not a pom-pom, a little box, is 4.5 by 3. Okay, so all the boxes are made in the same way, so I'm just going to show you on the Whisper White how I did the middle box, and this is the one that's going to be decorated for Santa's face, and I chose to do that one in white because he's got white hair and a white beard, so I'm just going to put a little face on rather than do a pink box with and then add loads of white. I just thought this was the easiest way. Okay, so all the boxes are made in exactly the same way. It's just a quite an easy box to put together. So we are scoring, this is the 8 by 8 sheet, and we are scoring at 2.5 on all 4 sides, and the important thing to remember is to rotate it round rather than score 2 lines down. That's important for making sure that the lids fit the base and everything, which is why you've got some 16ths creeping in with the sizes, because that's important for getting the lids to fit. And then the lid, 5 1/16 by 5 1/16, and we're scoring that at 1 inch all the way around. For the snowman, I had heat embossed snowflakes all around to give it a kind of a snowy feel, but this is not required for the Santa one, so you will be able to make it much quicker. And what I'm doing with this one is I'm going to fill it with some chocolates for some celebrations, and it's just a nicer way than having those big plastic tubs that all the shops are full of this time of year. I'm just going to empty one of those plastic tubs into each of the 3 boxes, and give those as presents. Just thought it was a bit more fun. So we are spending Christmas and New Year with 2 sides of the family, so I'm probably going to take the Santa one for the Christmas and the snowman for the New Year, because for the New Year we're going up north. I mean, I already live up north, but norther. So presumably, maybe, hopefully, there'll be a bit of sun. Okay, so we are simply going to be cutting up the straight lines and wedging a little bit in on both sides. I'm gonna actually get my long scissors, as we'll be here all day, won't we? And we've still got 65 million things to do to finish everything in time for Crimbo. So we need to be quick. So straight up, I have put on my Christmas wish list some proper crafting scissors and not me dressmaking scissors, although I should imagine these won't be as sharp now because I have been using them a while. And then I'm rotating, you will notice, as I go, so that there's, instead of having two flaps stuck down on one side and then the opposite side and nothing on the other side, I've done it so that each side will have a flap, and then that gives your box a little bit more stability. Okay, doing the same for the lid. The lid doesn't have to be rotated, but I will. I think that helps with fitting it, because otherwise you've got double thickness on one side and not the other. There we go, and then I'm just going to use some fast fuse. You can use liquid glue. Actually, I am going to use liquid glue. Because if the lid's going to be taken on and off often, I think liquid glue might be better. It's not as quick for my video there. Right, I'm now going to do these. So go all the way around. There we go. And match up those lines there to give a nice crisp edge, and do that all the way around. Oh, got a bit of glue on my hand there, nothing to rub it on, apart from my jeans. That ain't happening. Oh, oh, a bit sticky up there. There we go, and then I'll put it on its side and get in my bone folder and give it a good press down to a tear. There we go, and then do the box lid, check it will fit before I stick it down. And I haven't gone major out. Ah, that's good. Right. And then the last corner there. by sticking it here to the bottom of the box, you've got a little bit more stability on the bottom of the box than on the top of the box, and making sure that it fits. Oh. And then that goes on the top. That one's come unstuck. Well, I'll stick it down again. And there we have it. So that's our middle centre box, which is going to be his face. Okay, so I'm going to get the other boxes ready and come back to you for decorating. Okay, so I've made all the boxes now. I'm just going to show you how I made the little bit that goes on the top. It is the same as the snowman, but just in case you don't watch that one. So it's 4.5 by 3, and on the long side you're simply going to score at 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then on the short side you're going to go 1, 2, and that's it. Okay, and then you're just gonna, this is not going to be opened, this is just the decoration at the top, and it's like the little bobbly bit on the end of the Santa hat. So you just burnish all the school lines. So this one does go together quicker than the snowman because you're not heat embossing. And then for this we are going to cut up and cut away with a slight notch that rectangle, and do the same on the other side. So straight up and a slight notch, and then we're just going to cut up all these straight lines. And then they're all going to fold in on themselves. So those two I want to leave straight, so I'll notch all the others so they fold in a bit easier. Leave that one. And there we go. I think I went all quiet then, didn't I? And then it's just a matter of gluing that together. I've used wet glue so far all the way through this project, so I will carry on. So just hold that there. And then we are going to go in there, in there, in there. I will put a bit of glue on that, hold it down, glue that one over, just push them together, and then same here. Bit of glue there, and then glue on the top. And we're just going to glue it shut. So it is a little cube, 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch cube, and then that is just going to get stuck to the top of my box. So I've made the top of the box, and I'm just going to stick that, eyeball it in the middle, and just hold it in place. that's the Santa hat. I will just take it off there and give that a good hold. Like so. So that's the top of the box, and then that forms the Santa hat with the lid of the other one. Okay, so we just need to do our Father Christmas face. So what I've done is I've taken some powder pink and I've taken the Starburst punch, which I don't see, oh there it is. So with the Starburst punch, I just punched out a bit, and for the beard I've used the cloud, well the tree top from the Tree Builder punch, and that makes a nice beard. And all I did was I laid it on there and trimmed the edges. Shall I show you? It is a tutorial and a demonstration after all, so let's do it. So a little bit of powder pink, thought it was a nice colour for his face, and that is going to stick on the front of the box like that. And so we've got those sort of edges to sort of give the effect of like his hair framing the face. And then this is the beard, but it has to not overlap the bottom of the box because that's got to sit flush on top of the base like so. So we've got little edges peeping through, can you see? So that's why we have to sort of trim it away. So I just held it in place and then just took my scissors and went slightly under and trimmed it like that, and the same on the other side. Went slightly under, trimmed like that, and that's how I got that. Okay, so that's the first bit of making Santa's face. So I shall just stick that in place. And then you have on Santa, on the Tree Builder punch, you've got the little, that's the little sort of, looks like a teardrop shape. It's for the wing of the bird, and that's what I'm using for his little mouth. So a little scrap under there. To cut out his mouth. Flew away. So that's going to be his little mouth there. So that saves you cutting a moustache because that's it around. And then going to do the same thing for his nose. So I take a little bit of the out. So we just stick that down there. It was easier when I did it in practice. And then we just slice the nose out. Like so. And that's going to be his nose. And then I got two googly eyes for his eyes. And so that is Santa's face. So let's stick the bits on. Going to stick his nose on with a glue dot, and then it will stand up a little bit from the face, give it a slight bit of dimension. Like so. And before I put the googly eyes on, I'm going to stick this to the box side. I'm going to use some fast views for that. Oh, come to the end of my fast views. Marvellous. I knew I was coming to the end, which is why I've been using liquid glue. I'll just shove a little bit of this on just to make sure that it is stuck. So centre it in the middle, bit down there. Hold that in place. And then put the lid on. So this is the edge of the hat. So a couple of glue dots for my googly eyes, and stick that on there. Oh, they don't want to come off. On there. On there. Take the lid off, and then I can hold them in place like so. So that's our Santa's face, and we've done the top of his hat. So now we just need to do his coat bit. So we've got a full red one for the bottom. So I've just cut, this is 3 inches, which is the height of the box base, by 1 inch, and that's going to get stuck there. And then I've cut a piece which is 1 1/4, which is the depth of the lid, and 1 inch across, and that's going to get stuck there. And then you can just use a 1/2 inch circle punch to cut out the buttons, but I do have a contraband button punch, so I've cut ones out that look exactly like buttons. So I'm just going to glue those in place. So I'm going to use a bit of liquid glue because my fast fuse has run out, as you've just seen, and I'm going to eyeball that in the middle. You could measure if you want. And I'm going to put the lid on, and then that helps me with the placement of this strip. So that it matches. Keep moving it. There we go. And then I'm just going to place a button on that. So a little bit of glue on my button. Put the lid up for placement of this one. And that go there. Like so. So that is our Santa. Okay, now what I did with the snowman was I tied a bit of ribbon round to hold him all together. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. And I picked up my ribbon and now I can't see it. So I'll come back to you. Okay, so I've got some of our cherry cobbler that's stitched. So you've got like a running stitch one side and a cross stitch on the other. So that's what I'm going to use. So in the same way I did for the snowman, I'm just going to tie a bow on the side here. Just to hold it together. And there you have it. So that's Santa, and that's the original snowman. Okay, hope you like them. All the details will be on my blog, nigezza.blogspot.com, and I will put a link to the snowman down below so that you can go and have a look on that if there's any bits that I haven't repeated. Okay, see you again soon and have a very, very Merry Christmas.